Today's gospel lesson is a continuation of last week's gospel from the Sermon on the Plain. Jesus' Sermon on the Plain offers a teaching that levels the playing field for us and for all who hear it. As you recall from last week, Jesus offered up an equal balance of blessings and woes. He offered blessings of hope to the poor and the hungry. He offered hope to those who weep and to those who are reviled. Jesus followed those blessings with woes, with warnings to the rich and to those whose bellies are full. He offers warnings to those who are laughing now and warnings to those who live a life of being praised and revered. No matter who hears these blessings and woes, our lives should be changed by them. Those who are blessed are being lifted up by God's promises and love, and those who heed the warnings are leveled by God's love and begin living into God's promises on the same plane as those around them. The blessings and woes shook them up and got their attention. What we heard today falls right in line and does not skip a beat in exposing us to the true nature of God and what it takes for us to live as God's children. Now, I don't know where last week's gospel hit you. I don't know if you connected with the blessings alongside the poor and outcast, or if you connected with the woes and warnings given to the rich and revered. To help us sort out what we heard today, there's a lot there. I'm going to assign you a category. Truly has nothing to do with who you are. It just has to do with where you're sitting. Just want to. And choir lofts on my right. So for those of you on my right, you are the rich. Those who have full bellies, those who are laughing now, and who experience the life of being praised and revered. Those of you on my left, you are the poor, you are the outcast, the ones who are hungry, weeping, and those who are reviled. If I'm speaking to one side or the other, or should I say, if the gospel is speaking to one side or the other, it would be a good thing if everyone listened to both sides. There will also be times that the gospel is speaking to both sides at the same time. Are you ready? It begins speaking to all of us. Jesus said, I say to you that listen, to all of you that are still listening after being leveled by the blessings and the woes, to you, to everyone, I say, love your enemies and do good to those who hate you. Don't just wish them well or have good intentions for them. Love them with God's love. And God's love is an action. It's an action word that requires doing. So love those who you consider your enemies. Actually do something that they cannot mistake as being loving towards them. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. Those on the other side of the room, they're not the ones experiencing a life of being cursed or abused. Yes, it's not fair. It's horrible being treated as less than, but you are a beloved child of God and you are blessed. Share those blessings. Do love. teach love with your blessings. But don't allow yourself to be abused anymore. You deserve to not be abused. So if anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. Now I know that sounds like the gospel is telling you to just be passive and take the abuse, but it is not. It is telling you to stand up as an equal, as one who has been leveled in God's love, but do it safely. Not everyone is safe to confront. Be smart. And if anyone takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt. Again, it sounds like you are to just let them take advantage of you. But in Jesus' time, shame was different. Shame came from those who saw someone naked. The shame was not experienced by the one who was actually naked. If someone takes your outerwear, offer them your underwear and see if they're willing to experience the shame. Give to everyone who begs from you. And if anyone takes away your goods, do not ask for them again. I mean, if someone is begging from you, that means you most likely have extra. They are not going to beg from someone who has nothing to give. So, you give from your abundance. You won't miss it. Same goes if they take something from you. If they take it from you, they are probably pretty desperate. They're probably also feeling some sense of shame for not knowing how to ask for what they need. Just let them keep it. God knows their heart. Do to others as you would have them do to you. This does not say, do to others as they have done to you. What this really means is that we are supposed to do to others as God does to us. We are loved unconditionally by a merciful God, and we are created in God's image. Live into that image. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners, or just normal people, for even sinners do the same. Love and do good to everyone. As if God's children, we are called to be leveled, then we have to live our lives as such. If you lend to those from whom you hope to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love your enemies, do good, and lend, expecting nothing in return. Again, if you actually have the ability to lend, if you have the ability to lend something, lend it. Cut out the mindset of living tit for tat. It feeds into a life of fear and scarcity. It's not healthy. It's not holy. All of you, if you trust in the gospel and live in balance, leveled in God's loving nature, your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High. For He is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Everyone, do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. The concept of judgment actually resembled more like labeling people and perpetuating stereotypes. Do not look at someone and put them in a box. It stems from fear and ignorance. Instead, look at someone and say, in you I see the face of Christ, and in you resides the true nature of God. How can I help you experience grace? We cannot live into the level and loving nature of God without forgiveness. So, forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Forgive others because God forgives you. A life of being forgiven and sharing the action of forgiveness with others keeps us on level ground. Forgiveness that starts from within ourselves and flows out of us in the same way the power of God flowed from Jesus in last week's reading. And as you might recall, that power healed everyone. Amen.